I tell folks all the time, for me, I don't really watch a lot of American news if I do watch the news because I don't like the way it's skewed. So if honestly, I love Al Jazeera, I love BBC, I like international news programs. So what's your take on how Black News Tonight would cover a story? Like, for instance, let's get into the woke politics, critical
Mm.
race theory. You just had that cockamamie Vernon Jones on your show, honey, and and he didn't know what the fuck critical race theory was. And it was so blatant that he didn't. It's so obvious that he had no clue. But let's talk a little bit about the way you covered it or the way you handled him on that versus the way perhaps it would have gone even if it had been on CNN with maybe Don or with Chris Cuomo.
A big part of it, and that fool definitely, I don't even know if he could spell critical race theory.
Right.
I think a big part of the problem is on cable news, we've developed a kind of orthodoxy where you ask a person a question, you let them not answer it, and then you move on. Or you let a politician lie, and then you know they're lying, but you don't hold them accountable for the lie. You just keep going and let the people figure it out later, and it lets them off the hook. I mean, he's done a million interviews, and yet he still felt comfortable coming on a show declaring that he's going to ban critical race theory on his first day in office as governor, and didn't even have a working definition of it, even if it's one that I disagreed with. He didn't even
Right.
have one, a bad one. But the reason he did that is because he knows that he didn't have to, because on other cable news outlets, you don't have to.
Yeah.
And I think Don Lemon's a great interviewer. I think there's some great interview. Joy Ann Reid's a great interviewer. I don't think I think it's about the networks and how we play nice. And I was taught to play nice as an interviewer. But when I'm on Black News Tonight, the people want a different kind of question. They're like, no, you ain't doing this till you answer that. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like, we ain't getting to question two unless you get to question one. And because it's my
Right.
show and I'm the managing editor, they can't say, well, we're out of time. Because what they'll do is they'll run around in circles for 3 minutes and then go back home. I'm like, oh, no, bro, we got more than 3 minutes. We can take commercial and come back.
Yep.
I'll and we can go a little longer. I'll call Charles Blow, like, yo, bro, I need 5 more minutes. You know
Right.
what I'm saying?
Right.
We do what we got to
Exactly.
do to get these answers for the people. And so I think that's it. We're asking different questions, and we're not playing by the old, polite rules that really aren't polite at all, or they're at least at least deeply harmful to the people who will be affected in Georgia or affected in Texas or wherever this thing is happening. So I'm gonna ask different questions, and the other thing is I'm bringing in different guests. Like
Yes.
one of my favorite moments so far in the show, we're only a month old, is getting Patrice Cullors on the show. When people came out and they were trying to attack this woman, telling her, that she bought 4 houses and trying to suggest
Yeah.
that she's stealing money because she got 4 cribs. When she makes enough money to have what she buys, she's not taking a dollar from Black Lives Matter. I want to have her on the show, and the problem
You
is
know
for
that
years.
you're the one who said it straight for me, baby, because I was given a real side eye, and it was
hmm
literally your show that, and it's so crazy that you mentioned her because it was literally your show that gave me the information and the language in which to explain to people. I just did this today, and I talked about how she actually earned the money to have these
Right.
4 houses. But that was because of Black News Tonight. Otherwise, I don't think I would have known that because I feel like everyone else that was doing the interviewing of her, if she even did any interviews, I don't even know if she did a lot of interviews. I don't feel like I remember a
She
lot of
didn't.
them. Yeah,
She didn't. Yeah.
but
Because
she
the right
felt
wing media
comfortable
was
coming with
torching her, and
you.
the left wing media will give you 5 minutes to explain a very complicated thing. And I'm like, no, we're gonna go old school. We're gonna do what Donahue used to do, what Oprah used to do, where you can get 20 or 30 minutes to really flesh your thing out, answer these questions. But also, she knows it's a safe place. I'm not coming there
Yeah,
to expose her. I'm not coming there to do harm to her. But I am coming there to ask the right questions. So I'm not gonna let you off the hook either.
right,
In sports, I use like a sports metaphor. It might be a home game, but you still got to play hard. And if you mess up too much, we're gonna boo you too. So,
right.
so this is the context that I'm trying to create for Black News Tonight, and that's why Patrice felt comfortable coming on our show and not going to a show that might have more viewers because of what we're creating over here, and that's what I'm so proud. I'm so proud of that episode and so proud of that show because we were able to create space for something that just didn't exist before.